Hey Tim, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for gathering. We met today, 6 of the 7 U.S. Citizen families who have hostages still in the tunnels, the hell tunnels of Hamas. We met today at the invitation of President Biden. We met today with the President, members of his staff, and the Prime Minister of Israel and a number of his senior advisors. We came today with a sense of urgency. As you know, as time goes forward, the likelihood of getting our hostages home, our loved ones home, alive and recovering the bodies of those who have already been murdered becomes less and less likely. So as families, we came in really emphasizing to the leaders of the United States and of Israel a desire to get this deal done, this 3-phase deal that the president announced a few weeks ago and has been on the negotiating table in order to return all, now 115 of the Israeli hostages, and to end the suffering of the people of Gaza, because the moment they come home, these 115, the killing ends, the madness ends. And so that is how we walk through the doors on the way in. What we found after asking a series of difficult questions and getting answers to all of them, unfortunately we cannot share the content of those questions and answers, but what we did find by the end of the meeting, which was productive and honest, that we feel probably more optimistic than we have since the first round of releases in late November, early December, where a little over 100 of Israel's hostages were released. We got absolute commitment from the Biden administration and from Prime Minister Netanyahu that they understand the urgency of this moment now, to waste no time and to complete this deal as it currently stands with as little change as humanly possible within it. We are also very happy to hear from the president that Hamas now understands that the ball is in its court. World pressure is such that it has nowhere to hide anymore. Hamas could have ended this horror on October 8th by releasing all of the Israeli hostages. That, of course, has not happened. But no more excuses, no more time. Hamas, in order to free its own people from the horrors of war, must say yes now. Thank you.
Do you believe the deal is closer now after talking to them? Did they give a time frame, or do you believe it's close to happen, to be achieved?
They're definitely working on a proposal. It should be coming out soon. We believe that both parties understand the urgency, and it's going to come out to the public and a proposal to Hamas very soon.
Mary, yesterday during his address to Congress, the Prime Minister didn't actually mention at all the ceasefire deal. What did you make of that, and are you confident that Netanyahu can bring your loved ones home? Do you trust him?
This whole conversation,
Closer to the microphones, please.
as Jonathan already said, this whole conversation was about the deal that was put on the table, the 3-phase deal that the Prime Minister agreed to, and about the ways to which induce the negotiations or anything that needs to get done in order to get people out. The sense of urgency.
So do you trust him?
Did you all discuss today with President Biden the possibility of a separate deal to get American hostages out, or are you confident that they are fully committed to getting this current deal done?
The U.S. administration has been consistent, as have we, that the urgency is to get all of Israel's hostages home. Those who might still be alive, and we honestly don't know who might still be alive. As you know, the Red Cross or any other international agency has never been allowed by Hamas to visit with our hostages. That deal is not on the table, meaning solely the Americans. Everyone needs to come home. Everyone needs to come home.
I would like to add to that. The shortest way to get Americans out is through that deal and to get everybody's out.
Right there.
Hi. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it very much. With President Biden leaving in January, do you believe that impacts in any way the ability to free your family members?
On the contrary, I actually think it allows the president to be laser focused on the things that are true priorities to him, and saving human beings, cherished human beings, 115 of them, 8 of whom are U.S. citizens, is one paramount issue for him. And I think not having to worry about all the things surrounding a re-election allows him the freedom to focus on this, and we wish him Godspeed in that task.
Right. We saw a very committed president to get the hostages back, the Americans and the rest of the Israelis, now more than ever.
I actually want to add one more point to that, which is we've got a rare moment now where the current president of the United States and anybody who might become president of the United States, both Vice President Harris and Donald Trump, are all aligned in saying this deal must get done now. So anybody on any side who makes the mistaken political calculus that there's benefit in waiting will find out that that logic is wrong. The deal must happen now.
One more question, if I may. Pope Francis reiterated his calls today for an Olympic truce. That is, for warring nations to stop fighting, at least for the period of the athletic competition. Does that give you any hope at all?
I would say that we are all in favor of an Olympic truce. We support the Pope on that.
Thanks very much. And if I could ask you to give us your names before you speak as well, that would be really helpful. One of you mentioned at the top that you feel more optimistic about where things are going. The White House has been expressing that same optimism for a few weeks now. Without getting into what you can't tell us about the content of your questions and answers, can you explain why you're more optimistic now?
My name is Jonathan Dekelchen. I'm the father of Sagid Dekelchen, 35-year-old father of 3, who was kidnapped, taken hostage from Kibbutz Nir Oz. We still have 33 hostages in Gaza. Given what we've learned over the past few days in our meetings with administration officials and senior members of Congress, and today at the meeting, it does seem like there is absolutely no daylight between the position of the U.S. government, U.S. Congress, and Israeli leadership. In addition to that, over the course of the last few months, with our encouragement, the world community, keeping in mind that there are hostages from over 20 countries that still remain in Gaza, and many, not all, many of those countries have stepped up with the leadership of the United States to impress upon Hamas the need to end this now. And so, together with the additional military pressure that's been put on Hamas by the Israeli military and intelligence services, and the, again, ironclad commitment that we got today from our Prime Minister and from President Biden, there is more reason today than in any time since the last round of hostage releases that something can happen, and that all sides, that there is a place now to complete this 3-phase deal.
And do you have a sense at all of timing as to when that might get done?
That's a bit above our pay grade, I'm afraid, but we did get a commitment from the President and from the Prime Minister that both teams will be working by the hour in the coming days to put out an adjusted proposal to Hamas, and they understood completely and are partnered with us around the urgency that the cycles of back and forth get narrower and narrower so that we can get to the finish line, again, for our loved ones, for Israel, and for the people of Gaza.
חלקכם או רובכם הייתם די ביקורתיים כלפי ראש ממשלה, זה שהוא אפילו הגיע לכאן בלי לתת איזושהי אמירה שהוא הולך להסכים לעסקה בנאום שלו אתמול. אחרי הפגישה עכשיו, שיניתם את התפיסה לגביו או שעדיין יש לו מה להוכיח?
אנחנו ההורים של עומר ניוטרה, אזרח אמריקאי, ניו יורקר שעלה לארץ, התגייס ונחטף מהטנק שלו ב-7 לאוקטובר. כן, אנחנו היינו סקפטיים במקצת, בגלל ששמענו את האמירות של ראש הממשלה עד עכשיו, עם מעט מאוד אינפורמציה על ההסכם, והוא רק דיבר על המאמצים שנעשים, אבל לא על ההסכם עצמו. בפגישה כן שמענו שההסכם צריך להתקדם והם עובדים עליו, לכן אנחנו עכשיו יותר אופטימיים, ומקווים שבימים הקרובים תצא הצעה לחמאס, שבתקווה שחמאס יקבל אותה ונוכל להתקדם סוף סוף עם איזושהי מסגרת שבה הילדים שלנו, ההורים שלנו, התחילו לצאת החוצה ושקט יגיע לאזור כולו.
Protests. Well, again, there are things that I think are a little bit above our pay grade right now. I'm not entirely sure which protesters you're referring to, so if you could help me out a little bit, that would be great.
I mean, there were a group of Palestinians that were outside today, and in the past years, this was on today, there were a group of Israelis as well on
Right. Well, the beauty of democracy in the United States and in Israel and other true democracies is that people have the right and the obligation to speak their minds. I think we all accept that. Some of it is hurtful because our loved ones' lives are in the balance. This is not a kind of political science laboratory for us. But as long as this is the rules of democracy. As long as one doesn't go over that line of hate speech and incitement, then that's what democracy it should be.
Did you feel that Prime Minister Netanyahu had the same commitment, determination as President Biden?
I'll just answer. Look, today, I'm Liz Hirsch Naftali. I am the great aunt of Abigail, who was released back at the end of November. And I think the question is, where are we today? We're standing in front of the White House. It's a historical moment where the President of the United States, with the Prime Minister of Israel, the President invited hostage families that they have worked with for 10 months to get their loved ones home. So the commitment is that we sat in a room with two men, two great leaders that we need to be making the decision. And we know that Prime Minister Netanyahu is the person who needs to say yes. We know that he has a deep, long relationship with President Biden. And while they could not share details, what they could share was this relationship. Maybe sometimes it's rocky, but right now you see it's solid. And right now you see that these two men understand that there's 120 people that need to be released. And what we also understand is that the fighting needs to stop. So when you ask that question, think about where we are at this moment. And think about this one time where you have a President of the United States, Joe Biden, Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, coming together for a meeting and then inviting us and listening to us and sharing with us and committing to us the rapid return of our loved ones.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Okay. Thanks, guys. They got to get some stuff. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. That was great for you.